Well, damn, maybe I should pee too, since everyone's
The
taking their time.
sequel.
Pequel.
P2 the Pequel. That's what they should have called pooping. Thank you for joining us again. Where this time we decided that we're going to do the category of best game not released in 2022. This
That
is
you
the
played in
that
2022.
you yes that you played in 2022. We
Oh
can't just
shit!
do
I got to
yeah,
redo my
Bullhorn.
list.
Can't just do Shovel Knight every year
Yeah, it's
in the
Portal
category.
2.
But this is our kind of catch-all category for, you know what, we don't always play games that came out in the same calendar year, but that doesn't mean we don't kind of want to talk about some really cool stuff or some stuff we might have missed from previous years. It's just kind of good to have this category, but this is not the remaster or ports that we just did. These are not for things that came out in the calendar year. And my number three, I went and finally began doing a project that I have wanted to do for a very long time, which is an Assassin's Creed retrospective. And part of doing that had me finally playing Assassin's Creed Liberation for the first time. This was the PlayStation Vita game that takes place in Nolans, and I had kind of always passed on it because a lot of people don't even consider it to be like a mainline Assassin's Creed game. But playing it for this project, I have discovered it is super fucking cool. They do a lot of really rad things with it. They lean into the kind of portable nature of the Vita with very, very short missions, generally speaking. So it's really good to like pick up and put down. But it does a ton of really unique ideas that never end up getting utilized in future Assassin's Creed games. Like the main character has a outfit system where she can either do her assassin's outfit, her like noble outfit, or her slave outfit. And depending on the outfit you're using, you get different abilities and different levels of notoriety that you can play with. So you get into situations where it's like, oh, if I'm doing this infiltration mission, rather than using this outfit, it's going to be easier for me to go in with this outfit. And you can kind of like pre-plan your missions and do really cool things like that with different abilities. And I think it's buck wild that this system was never utilized in a future Assassin's Creed game. Um, Super fucking cool game. Would highly recommend Assassin's Creed fans check out Liberation. It's been re-released into various HD collections at this point, and I just had an overall really good time with it. I'm really, really glad I played it. But with
Can you
that,
get it through
Ryan,
PS Plus? Do you know?
yeah, sure, it's on PS Plus. Fucking badass.
Okay.
It's also a really good like standalone Assassin's Creed game, and doing stuff in Nolans is a setting that is not usually represented in video games. So I one of the things I like Assassin's Creed for. But Ryan, what is your number three?
I think I've only got one, so I'm gonna wait until we do our ones.
Fuck. Yours
Woo.
can be. Nah, never
Wait,
mind.
when did we do Beatles Rock Band? Is that like the end of 2
I think
years
Beatles
ago?
Rock Band might have been this year.
Okay. Okay, I have two. So
Wonder what they're gonna be.
Jason, what's your number three?
My number three is Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
I started playing it maybe a month ago. I haven't put a ton of time into it, but it's just, I mean, it's a cool card combat game. I got sucked into it for about a week. And I'll probably go back to it. I have enjoyed myself in it.
Pretty neat.
Takes a little getting used to that you like straight up start over every time. It's not I'm not used to playing a game that does that. Like it doesn't, you don't build on really anything after your runs. But I think it's fun enough to keep kind of messing with it, give it a little more time.
It's one of those games that I never uninstall just because it's always good to have on hand at all times. I really like Slay the Spire. But Lily, what is a game you really like that you always keep installed?
Well,
Steep.
no, it's Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I not the first time I played it by a long shot, but I think I played it enough that it warrants a spot on the list. It's one of them games. And it's really fucking good. And I'm gonna
I can
beat it
finally
under
play
2
it.
hours, god damn it.
Yeah, we have been doing some Bloodborne stuff for this past month, and it has been very enjoyable.
Yes.
Having a very good time with Bloodborne.
So that's my number 3.
People should play that game. If you maybe like had your first Soulsborne experience, like last year, and now
Yeah,
you're maybe
Ryan.
gonna reach out and try some more things. Like Bloodborne's a very good one to go and try.
Yeah, and it's one of them PlayStation hits games. So
It's like $20
maximum.
or free if you get it for Christmas.
Or if
Yeah.
you have the really bad Sony Game Pass,
Yeah,
it's on
I'll
there.
wait, I'll wait till
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, if
wait
you
till
have-
Christmas.
Just around the corner.
But Danny, what have you waited until Christmas to play?
Didn't wait till Christmas to play this.
Never deny that's an important part of improv, but go on.
And
God, way to make Dash look like a dumbass.
My favorite part of
he
improv
needs
is
help
no,
with
how
that.
about?
So I played this around summertime. Game called Cozy Grove. It's an Animal Crossing like, and had kind of cute, creepy sort of visuals with a very earwormy soundtrack. And it's pretty close to what it says on the tin. It's a very cozy game. You help little ghost bears deal with sometimes actual kind of trauma, and just kind of like help them resolve their regrets from life while you are also building this camp on a deserted island.
Yo, did you play Spiritfarer?
I bought Spiritfarer but did not get around to it.
So you should maybe check out
You
Spiritfarer.
should do Spiritfarer.
yeah, I was
It-
gonna say it's
it's-
probably right up your alley, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like from what I can tell, similar vibes between Cozy Grove and Spiritfarer.
We're living in a comfy game renaissance right
Mhm.
now.
We're living in a society.
We live in a society.
Live in a comfy society.
Hunter, what is your number 3 comfy society?
My number 3 actually is a game I have only played recently because somebody described it as Ace Combat meets Zone of the Enders. And I saw it was $2 on the Steam sale. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy that. And it's called Project Nimbus. And it is exactly Ace Combat meets Zone of the Enders. Because the
I like
general
that. That
the
sounds
general
cool.
gameplay is very Ace Combat like, and then it literally has Zone of the Enders melee.
Cool.
I've only played it for about an hour, but I'm really liking it. And again, I paid $2 for it because this game came out like 6 years ago or something.
Never
I was
even
like,
heard of
oh.
it.
Cool.
Some
Yeah,
of the most
neither
fun
did
you
I.
can get for $2 outside of a gas station. What'd you say that's called?
Project Nimbus.
Project Nimbus.
I
Okay,
think
I'm
it's
gonna-
only like $10 normally.
I may look into that because that sounds dope. But my number 2, on the topic of things that sound dope, I think that one of the important things about the Game of the Year process is it's two things. It is one, it's an award show. Again, we're the only ones to give awards to video games, and I think that's important. But number 2, it is also low key you trying to convince other people to play a video game.
We
And-
truly are pioneers.
I think if we get rid of that element of it, it loses some things. But in order to have that be an element, people actually have to play the things that people bring up and get recommended to them.
That
So
sounds like
this-
a bad idea.
This year, I played Ender Lilies at the recommendation of Hunter from the previous Game of the Year
Hello.
award. I checked out Ender Lilies and I had a very good time with it. It sounded cool when Hunter described it, and I hadn't heard of it in 2020 or 2021. So this year I did pick it up when it went on sale and played through the whole thing in like a week, and I just had a very, very good time with it. And in a year where the Salt and Sanctuary sequel was extremely fucking bad, having Ender Lilies be there for me was extremely fun. And I would also recommend Ender Lilies to anyone who wants maybe like that 2D Dark Souls kind of experience. Had a super good time with it.
It's got a lot of piano music
It's
too.
got a lot of piano music to it, and it looks like if Vanillaware did a Dark Souls, which is a cool look. Yeah, Ender Lilies. Thank you for that recommendation, Hunter.
Yeah, no problem.
Ryan, what is your number 2?
This one I actually played pretty recently, but I've owned it since about the time it came out. Gorogoa,
Oh,
Yeah.
a really cool like indie puzzle game, just like a neat little thing of like fitting pictures together and like zooming in and zooming out and doing all this stuff. It was really satisfying puzzles, makes you feel really smart, and just a neat little thing.
Yeah, it's really cool how they all kind of connect.
Yeah,
You managed to build this all these multiple worlds with just 4 squares.
Hey, how do
Yeah.
you spell that? Because it keeps me wanting me to search for Georgia game instead of Garogara.
GIRUGAMESH.
Unintelligible.
Found it.
It's on Game Pass also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I played it.
I've been meaning to play that game for ages, and it's been installed on my console for a long time.
It's,
basically
it's
since
like
I
an
did Game
hour and a
Pass.
half long.
I know.
Yeah,
we-
I've
it's
heard that.
Very cool.
Played it
I
in
wanna
one
try it.
sitting. Yeah, and it's neat. Like it's kind of got this like you're playing it and stuff like kind of seems connected, like this, I don't know, almost like kaleidoscopic narrative. And then all of a sudden at the end, it's just like, "Burp, here's what everything was. And you're like, oh shit, neat.
It was man,
Yeah. The most dangerous game.
the most
Garogua.
evil animal.
Well, with that, Jason, what is your number 2 most dangerous animal?
My number 2 is a game that I did not intend to play, but was convinced that it was probably a good thing to get into before playing the sequel, and that was the God of War 2018. Very good game. And it definitely was important to play it before just trying to dive into a very story-heavy, significant references to the first game sequel.
Like, I really wish I could see the alternate universe where you didn't listen to me though, and you just jumped in though.
Probably wouldn't have made its best writing list.
I think
Yeah,
that would have been so wild.
Yeah, the sequel is pretty heavily reliant on the first game's story existing. So, yeah, it was and it was a good game. I mean, I understand why it was so popular the year it came out.
God of War 2018, hell of a game.
Mm.
One might call it, I want to say, the 5th best game of 28. I don't remember. I might have been like 6th though.
I didn't.
Well, you
finish
But
gave
as
it.
up
often
on
as
the
you
bit.
update your lists and stuff like that, I feel like you would know off the top of your head.
I
didn't participate that year. That was the last year before I started.
it was a good year.
I know Spider-Man was big that year.
Blidio blames.
And
Lily,
Red Dead
what is
2.
your number 2 Blidio Blame that did not come out in 2022?
Video lames.
So this was actually, I'm pretty sure it was one of my missed connections the year it came out, the year of our Lord 2018. My number 2 is Hades.
Yeah,
It is
One.
Yeah, that
nuts.
makes sense.
Hades rules.
I finally got around to playing it. Shout out to Dash for letting me borrow it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I don't.
I still have it.
No, I don't. I guess I don't own a physical copy of that game.
Didn't you buy one?
No,
Oh, I guess maybe I bought more games from GameFly than I thought. I thought I only got 2.
Not just give us a dash.
I thought
Sure.
Dash
I
immediately forgot he had a physical copy
I'll
of
take
it.
a physical copy of it. But
No,
I only
fuck
own that
you.
game on Switch.
No. No, stop it.
Dash doesn't have object permanence. You know this.
I don't know. I'll have to check GameFly. But yeah, it's a great game. I'm having a good time with it. I have not yet escaped from hell, but working on it.
Hey, you gotta do it in time for the sequel.
Right,
Yeah, I'll do
John.
that.
When are they gonna make Bastion 2?
God, when are they gonna make Bastion 2?
Hey guys, is
Like-
Axiom Verge 2 worth playing?
No.
No.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
Good thing
Are
it
they
was
gonna-
free.
When are they gonna
Think
make
that-
Pyre 2?
Was that in all 3 of our biggest letdowns the year it
I
came
think
out?
yeah, that might have been number 1 with a bullet. Ooh, that game's not good.
Hell yeah. Well, it'd be like that. So yeah, Hades is my number 2.
Hades rules. Great game. People should play Hades. Danny, what is your number 2? Not released in 2022.
My number 2 is Near Reincarnation. It's a mobile game somewhat in the Near Automata universe.
Is this the gotcha game?
Yeah, actually.
Wild.
Yeah, no, has several chapters that are just kind of short interwoven stories, and it this is the first year that I've had a phone that can handle gaming,
Getting
and
really into Pokemon Go this year.
but
Look, we're not the number 1 yet.
the the environments rendered in this game are gorgeous. The characters are interesting. Uh, it's it is a gacha game, but they're like it I had a good time with it. So yeah, near reincarnation is a surprisingly decent gacha game.
Yoko Taro's done it again.
Oh yeah.
Danny, be honest. Are you a
Uh-huh.
whale for Nier? How much money have
My-
you spent on Nier?
Oh, I refuse to spend money on gacha games. I only do the free currency from playing the game.
When are we
Okay.
going to get into Genshin Impact?
I
Never.
am so close. I am like I need someone to stop me. I've been considering it for a week.
See, I've got it installed on my PS5. Nobody enabled me.
I also have it installed on my PS5.
Oh, we're so close. Hunter, what is your number 2 game that was not released in 2022?
My
Genshin
number 2
Impact.
is a game nobody has mentioned yet at all in any of these, called Persona 5 Royal.
What's that?
I think it's so wild that you hadn't played it until now.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't
I-
want to pay another $60 for a game I had already played.
I guess.
So like I waited until it came out on PC and it was on sale for like 42 or something. I was like,
Also on
yeah,
Game Pass.
I don't have Game Pass anymore because I don't have a
Yeah.
working Xbox.
Yeah, but you can do
But
PC
you have a
Game Pass.
PC.
Yeah, but I also
I
don't have a
used-
job.
Well, I mean, that's a fair fucking point.
Okay. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 coming to Game Pass soon also.
Nobody should touch Persona 3 Portable.
I'm gonna.
It is
gonna do
wild
it.
that they're porting a PSP version of that game.
But yeah, I'm happy that people are playing Persona 5 Royal. That is a good video game.
Very good.
Port of a port. So then that brings us to our number 1s for 2022. And there is a situation that very seldom gets created for me where, since I'm usually really on the ball about playing games the year they come out just for the sake of doing this, and it's how I organize my stuff. And because of that, it's not often that something truly good gets through the cracks. The only other time I can really think about this happening is when Hollow Knight came out. I waited to play it on the Switch, and the Switch version came out in January after the year was released. So I ended up missing that. And it created a situation where Hollow Knight's one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, but I couldn't talk about it during the proper Game of the Year stack up. And a similar situation has been created now where I would like to talk about the best video game that I played in this calendar year, bar fucking none. And it is Disco Elysium. I realize that you are all in a chat with me where I talk about video games, and you're probably sick of hearing about it. But I really cannot emphasize enough that Disco Elysium is the best video game I played in 2022. It is better than any other video game that I played in 2022, and people should play Disco Elysium at some point.
Never heard of it.
Don't
I don't
play
buy
the
it.
console version though, because I
So
really wanted to enjoy Disco Elysium. I got it at the beginning of the year and I played it and I fell off so hard.
did you play it on
Yes.
PlayStation?
Yes.
So it's funny you say that. Because I like having physical copies of things, I went and purchased this, and it is flawless. It works so well. Not one single hiccup, not one crash, no problems whatsoever. You can't map a quick save button, sure, but absolutely no problems with the Xbox version. That PS4 version is awful.
Who made it,
Nobody should play that
Vlambeer?
thing on a fucking Sony console.
It
is
is
it is
nailed.
unplayable.
Yeah.
But it is at the point where I am curious if the Switch version is fine.
I would be curious to know because it has an interesting world, and the gameplay, it does a thing that I haven't seen in a while, where you roll dice it's a tabletop RPG in a video game. You roll dice to determine your success on any number of challenges, and that is a fun little gimmick in a video game, and I think the way you can build your character to interact with the world in wildly different ways is very interesting. The bugs were untenable. I fell off so
that PlayStation
hard.
version's awful. Disco Elysium is one of the greatest video games that has ever been made and justifies the entire medium's existence from an artistic perspective. It is nothing short of profound. It is one of the best video games that has ever been made. It is I cannot speak highly enough about this game, except that PS4 version is fucking terrible. I've gone through, I think at this point, 6 times on it this year. It is amazing. It is so good. It is the best video game that I played this year. People should play Disco Elysium.
Just not on the PlayStation 4.
Just not on the PlayStation.
All I'm hearing is don't play Disco Elysium.
People should really play
You're
Disco
hearing
Elysium.
correctly.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm hearing don't but play Disco Elysium.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, but I said my piece.
Now he's normal height.
It's so good. It is the best thing I played this year. Ryan, what's your number one?
Beatles Rock Band.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like got into the Beatles like right at the end of last year. Like it all finally clicked because I watched that Peter Jackson documentary, and that was cool. And then Dash and I played through the entire story campaign. I had to haul out my Xbox 360 because it's not backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So it was nice going back, and
they just killed the online for it here a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, so that was the last chance we had for that to happen. It's a cool game. I wish they did more with like single bands because they were able to do more stuff with like history and photos and like making almost like music videos for their stuff instead of just like random band playing cover songs. It was like
Rock Band Weezer.
Yeah.
I love that Beatles Rock Band game. I had a really good time playing through that with you. The Beatles are also like the only musical act I know a lot of information about. So it is...
yeah, so I had Dash in my ear telling me trivia the whole time too.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to play through the songs that Dash hates that I love.
Yeah.
We got to dig a pony.
Yeah,
and
he's
really
a big
heavy.
dig a pony stan. Yeah, Beatles Rock Band was very fun. I enjoyed that.
Good shit.
Jason, what is your number one game that did not come out?
My number one game, not from 2022, was Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
I just generically enjoyed Resident Evil games. I haven't played all of them. I'd never played original Resident Evil 2. I got into the games with 4. But I mean, the gameplay was fun. I still haven't finished it. I want to get into it and get through it because I know it's not long. But I think another Resident Evil remake might distract me from that. So we'll see.
What Resident Evil could they be remaking that would distract you, though?
Code Veronica.
They're actually remaking the remake of 3.
They're remaking the movies.
Ooh, they're making them video games.
Lily, what's the best Resident Evil game you played in 2022?
The best Resident Evil game that I played in 2022 was Unpacking.
Yeah.
Easily...
Not a lot of people know that that's in the Resident Evil universe.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
It's very subtle. It's hard to miss. They're easy.
Yeah, easily one of the better games that I played all year. It led me into being interested in and playing a different game called A Little to the Left, which is very similar. It's smaller scale but similar concepts. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the way that it kind of tells the story that it tells through what you have to unpack and how your boxes change as you move through. How you leave some things behind and clearly some things are more important, so they stay with the character, and I really enjoyed it. I would play through again. I liked it so much I got all the Chivos.
Nice.
It's a profoundly good game.
Yeah, so simple but so like just good.
Yeah.
We talked
and
about
I love the
last year.
art style too.
One might call it the third best game of 2021.
Not
It's got a lot to unpack there.
You just play that game, and I think it's on Game Pass also.
Yeah,
It is.
that's how I played it.
I really
Pass on
want to
PC.
get through that game at some point. I loved the little bit that you had me play at your house, Dash.
It's so good. But Danny, what is your number one game that didn't come out?
My number one game
Ever.
that didn't come out in 2022, for silly reasons, literally like changed my life, changed how I live my life. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Hey, I like that game. I'll back you up on that game being good. It's Hunter that you got to yell at.
Yeah, bro, what? It was that bad?
No, honest, like very silly reason is at some point I was doing a mini game in there while on shrooms, and it caused me to empathize with Tifa Lockhart in such a way that I decided, okay, I am going to actually work towards the things that I want in my life and work towards being a better person, much like Tifa Lockhart doing pull-ups.
Get abs.
Oh yeah. So because of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I have started working out regularly. I eat better. But also it is just a very fun game with great active combat in a JRPG. Tifa Lockhart is will forever live in my heart. She's phenomenal. Plus, like, just the power scaling in that, like, I feel like I can kill and become God.
The Hell House fight.
Oh my god, the Hell House fight is so good. Yeah, no,
Game
like
rules. Go fuck yourself, Hunter.
top
Game
to bottom,
sucks.
top to bottom, phenomenal game. Yeah,
Hunter, did you perhaps play it on shrooms? Maybe you should do that.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
give that a
Maybe I
shot.
should do some mini games on shrooms. That might change my point of view.
You should play all your video games on shrooms.
Yeah, play
Yeah.
Hyper Demon.
Yeah, do that.
God,
We'll never hear from you again.
Hunter, what's your number one Final Fantasy VII game that came out this year?
My number one Final Fantasy VII game is Rune Factory 4.
I feel
Partially,
like you bring up Rune Factory every year in some category, and
I'm
just
going to bring up a
eyes
different Rune
glaze
Factory
over.
and a different one.
Oh, good.
Partially because I actually put time into the re-release on this year, mostly fueled by negative feelings of a different Rune Factory game. But I'll go
Well.
way into detail when we get to that eventually.
I'm excited. So it's one of the good Rune Factories.
It's if Stardew Valley was good.
Ooh, firing shots out here.
I'm shooting
And
everybody.
to a bunch of people who I don't think care about Stardew Valley
Yeah,
in any
I think that's
it's a
capacity.
pretty good game.
It's,
I think that's more Zach.
it's serviceable.
honestly.
People seem to like it.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Never played
it's not
it. It's on my
not fun,
Switch.
but
Well, with that brings us to a close for the best game that was not released in 2022. Shout outs to Disco Elysium, please. I'm begging you. I'll
Never
I'll
heard
cash
of
in
it.
all my good boy points for this one. Like, please.
If you
all your goblin
you-
points are going to this.
if you loan me an Xbox, I will play it on Xbox.
I'll only play it on PlayStation.
I could.
I
do
will
that.
loan you an Xbox.
I, could
I
do
only
that.
play it on 3DS.
Yeah, we can get you an
We
Xbox,
can make that
Danny.
happen.
Not difficult.
I know,
Uh, but with that, that'll bring us to a close. Please join us next time where we discuss the best character of 2022.
And
What
that's
if
it.
what if story and
Yep.
writing was a gun? That's what that is. So yeah, join us next time.